Welcome back, everyone. Western Mass News Getting Answers. A climatologist at UMass Amherst warns global warming is leading to more floods and droughts in Massachusetts, and our infrastructure needs to adapt to withstand these weather extremes. As Western Mass News reporter Mary Wilson tells us, that includes protecting something we can't live without: water.
It's something we're going to have to get used to, more record extreme heat.
Inside UMass Amherst Climate System Research Center, Professor Michael Rollins is tracking temperatures, finding that Massachusetts saw a record warm August.
That's bringing with it a host of extreme climate events, such as increased flooding, more extreme precipitation events, more worsening conditions during drought like what we had in this past summer.
Weather extremes can pose many threats, including to our water systems.
Water is essential to our health, our economy, and our public safety.
Kathleen Baskin of the Mass Department of Environmental Protection tells Western Mass News that water system failures can have devastating impacts. In August, a raging flood in Jackson, Mississippi left thousands without access to clean water, and a warming climate could lead to more historic floods.
The warmer atmosphere holds the water longer, and then when it is released, a lot of it comes down at once.
The Springfield Water and Sewer Commission is the largest public drinking water supplier in the state.
With these cycles of drought followed by extreme precipitation events, we will see changes in water quality in our reservoirs.
The commission has embarked on a massive $550 million 6-year capital improvement project to modernize their system and make it more resilient to weather extremes.
The amount of work we have to do is very significant. We have a very old system, and the time or clock is ticking, really. We have to get ahead of climate change.
Work on a new water treatment facility for Springfield will begin next year and take about 3 years to complete, replacing the existing one here in Westfield that was last updated in the 70s.
One of the things that we're seeing with the extreme weather is impacts to the water quality in our reservoirs, and that's in the form of organics that are in the drinking water.
The new facility will include a process prior to filtration that will remove these organics from the water. Springfield's water comes from a reservoir in the hill towns, but a third of the state's water is supplied by the Quabbin Reservoir.
There's nothing in the landscape there that would be polluting the water if the water came up over it. And so that's a great relief.
Baskin says flooding is not a major concern when it comes to the Quabbin because the area around it is protected by thousands of acres of undeveloped land. It's the state's aging infrastructure that she says needs updating.
We're developing new guidance for stormwater systems so that they will hold enough water and not flow over.
The new guidance will be on how to size infrastructure like pipes and culverts to accommodate more intense rain and flooding like we saw with Irene.
2 miles of Route 2 was shut down for months. And so, these undersized culverts and passageways for the river to push through just got sort of blown apart.
Back at UMass, Professor Rollins says the best way to mitigate these issues is by not building in flood zones, conserving water, and above all, cutting down on the amount of fossil fuels we burn.
We certainly must adapt to these climate changes. So we must adapt to being more resilient, better prepared for extreme heat events, extreme flooding events.
Mary Wilson, Western Mass News.
Now, if you have a question or something you want us to look into for you, email us at gettinganswers@westernmassnews.com. Just be sure you include your name and phone number as we work to dig deeper.